Welcome to Creepy Lore, where I retell the chilling encounters and unsettling accounts of ordinary people. If you are a fan of such content, subscribe to my channel to listen to such great stories. Let's get into the story. The night outside was a frozen wasteland, with the wind howling through the barren landscape surrounding the gas station on the outskirts of our desolate Iowa town. With a population of just around 6,000, our town felt even smaller, given the gas station's isolated location. I was stuck on the graveyard shift, the minutes dragging interminably as I manned the counter. As a community college student working nights to support my education, I was accustomed to the solitude of the shift. I spent most of my time alone, reading textbooks or trying to keep my mind occupied with the hum of the vending machine and the occasional gust of wind rattling the windows. The hours were long and quiet in winters, broken only by the rare customer who ventured into the icy night. My nights were spent in a near-constant state of vigilance, a routine that had become both a blessing and a curse as it allowed me to earn money but also kept me isolated in the frigid darkness. Around 2 a.m. that fateful night, the screech of an old pickup truck's tires announced its arrival. The truck, battered and rusted from years of harsh weather, rolled into the lot with a groan. Its headlights sliced through the dark, casting long, eerie shadows across the snow. The couple inside the truck didn't immediately get out. They remained seated, their figures shrouded in thick winter coats and scarves. The cab was dimly lit by the faint glow of the dashboard, and I could see their heads bent close together in what seemed like an intense, whispered conversation. The minutes ticked by slowly, with the couple still lingering in their truck. Their furtive glances and the hushed, urgent nature of their conversation made the night feel even colder. When they finally emerged, their movements were unnervingly synchronized, as if choreographed. The man was as tall and gaunt. His movements were deliberate and stiff, adding an unsettling quality to his presence. The woman was shorter and more stout. Her anxious eyes darted around the gas station as if expecting something to jump out at her. Once at the pump, their behavior grew even more peculiar. The woman fidgeted with the pump, her fingers tapping it absent-mindedly, but she never actually used it. Her eyes darted nervously between the pump and the store, her anxiety palpable. The man seemed to be in a similar state of nerves, which I accounted for the brutal winter cold and them possibly being new to the area. The gas station with its location looked eerie and haunted to even the townsfolk. However, I got used to its appearance and find it charming in its own way. After all, I have been working here for 3 years now. When they finally entered the store, the temperature seemed to drop even further. I observed them under the somewhat bright store light. Both seemed to be in early 50s and dressed well. The man seemed gentle with a face weathered by time and harsh elements. However, the woman seemed mysterious, with a face hidden beneath a heavy scarf. She slowly walked towards me with a precise gait. The woman's voice was strangely soft as she complained about the pump. "It's not working," she said, her tone flat and devoid of emotion, as if she were reading from a script. The man, meanwhile, wandered through the store in a manner that suggested he was not fully present. He picked up a few items, but his movements were erratic, almost robotic. I felt a rising unease as their behavior grew more unsettling. I thought about going out to check the pump. It often acted up, and I had to reset it from time to time. But just as I was about to respond to the woman's complaint, the bell above the door jangled. A young man in his mid-20s burst in, his breath visible in the frigid air. He was dressed in a worn winter coat and had a scruffy beard that suggested he hadn't shaved in days. He is tall, well-built and is bulky with muscular body. He reminded me of a school buddy who worked at the oil rig. His loud, impatient demeanor was a stark contrast to the couple's eerie calm. He griped about the cold and demanded snacks and coffee with a raw irritation that felt jarring, with a thick southern accent. The young man's presence added an irritation to me on top of the couple's unnerving behavior. I see characters of all kinds at the gas station each passing day. I like to observe people and intricate details of their ways. This keeps me engaged in my otherwise boring job. But, this night it seemed peculiar that these characters made their way into my store. I wouldn't say I was afraid, but my experience has taught me to be alert always. I tried to keep my attention on him, dealing with his complaints as best as I could. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the couple glancing at each other, their expressions shifting from nervous to alarmed. As the young man continued to complain, the couple seemed to reach a silent agreement. They swiftly completed their purchase, paying with a $20 bill for a total of $16.84. The man did not wait for the change, and the woman, who had been so vocal about the pump, suddenly fell silent. Their departure was as unnerving as their arrival. The woman's eyes darted around the store one last time before they hurried out, leaving the pump untouched. I watched them drive off into the night, their old pickup truck disappearing into the darkness. The young man left shortly after, his presence a jarring echo in the quiet of the early morning. The rest of the night was unnervingly quiet after he left. The shadows seemed to stretch longer, and the silence felt more oppressive, as if the gas station itself was holding its breath. I counted the minutes until the next clerk arrived, and I was relieved to call it a night and head home. The next morning, as I skimmed through the newspaper, a sharp chill ran down my spine. The couple from last night was on the front page. The description and sketches matched the strange pair I had seen. They are wanted for the brutal murder of a gas station clerk in Missouri. The murder had occurred at around the same time they came last night, 4 days earlier. The couple had lured the clerk out with a complaint about the gas pump, just as they had tried to do with me. The motive for the murder remained a dark mystery, a grim reminder of the evil that can hide behind seemingly innocent facades. The realization hit me with an unsettling clarity. I had narrowly avoided becoming their next victim. Despite his earlier annoyance, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude toward the young man who came in last night. His timely entrance had diverted my attention and potentially saved my life. I waited, half hoping he might return, maybe to grab something again. But he never did. The gas station, once a place of routine, now stood as a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the everyday. And that night in late November sends chills down my spine every time I think about it. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Indeed, truth is stranger than fiction. Comment on what you think about it. Like and share the video to increase the reach and keep bringing you such stories.